everybody.
Hello.
Hello. And this is the latest episode of Lights Up, the podcast for Putney Theatre Company. It's been a while, I know, dear listener, but we're back, baby. We're back with the producer, the director, and one of our cast members for our next studio production called Whipping It Up. I know, how to say that with a serious face. Well, I'm going to go straight to you, Ian, as the director. Welcome. Tell us, what is Whipping It Up about? And don't tell me it's about, it's a new cookery show.
Well, it's a new cookery show.
Oh, excellent!
It's about set in the Westminster Whip's office, which is kind of where the whipping comes from, who, if you don't know what the whips do, they basically enforce party discipline. It's set in an alternative 2010, where there's a tiny government majority, and it's all about how the whips sort of cajole, bully, convince wayward MPs to vote for the government at that point.
So it's a documentary, yeah?
It's entirely documentary. Actually, no, it's not. So it's written in 2006 as a kind of a vision of what a 2010 election could look like. The writer didn't quite see that it was going to be a hung election at that point.
I was going to say, it wasn't quite prophetic, was it, by Steve Thompson,
Not quite prophetic, but he's kind of used that as a sort of really interesting lens into like how politics works and like the actual nitty-gritty of how you actually force MPs, who constitutionally cannot be forced, never be implied to vote or forced to vote in one way.
We don't have a constitution.
We don't have a constitution, even that. It's incredibly funny. It's really fast.
Why did you choose it?
Well, I chose it because, firstly, I really enjoy politics. Secondly, it's really funny. And I really wanted to do a really funny show and make people laugh, especially about politics, which is, quite salient at this point in time.
Well, it is. I mean, that's if it's not here to make us laugh, it'll make us cry.
Yeah.
So now it's set in the Whip's office. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And we have Perry Kitchen here, stalwart of Putney Theatre Company, who's been here for literally since the beginning of time. So welcome. This is your first time.
Well, it's the first time on the podcast. Yes.
Yeah. Well, welcome. And you
yes.
play.
Well,
I'm
playing the chief whip, who's an unreconstructed, boorish, old-school bully, added misogyny and a line in tasteless remarks.
So typecast.
No distance to travel at all, as far as I was concerned. Yes. Quite
unfair.
So, and how are you enjoying it, Perry?
Oh, thoroughly enjoying it, yes.
Because I haven't seen you on stage since, was it the Watsons?
Well, the Watsons, yes, but I was asleep for most of that, or dead. No, so I'm actually awake and alive for most of this. All of this. No, nearly. Well, I don't think I shouldn't give anything away. I might or might not be alive.
Oh, well, no spoilers, please, Perry. No spoilers.
No,
we don't want to know what happens at the end.
No.
So your character, I think you've summed them up in a very succinct way.
Yes.
What's the script like?
Well, it's very well written. If you look at the speech patterns of each individual, you can actually pick up quite a lot about the a character that the author clearly thought they should be. And it is about a clash of different sorts of people from different backgrounds who, for whatever reason, are just in the Whip's office together. So it's been great, but it's also actually been lovely just working on the show generally. I've just come away from, we've had two young architecture students this afternoon who came in, and they've been doing some really fine work doing the graining on the doors. So if you don't like the show at all, at least admire the graining.
Which I'm loving that. I'm sure we will. And great that we're bringing new blood into the company. Now, Alexa, my darling, you're the producer.
Yes.
Give us a synopsis of the plot. Ian's already said it's set in 2010. It's in the Whip's office. Who are the main protagonists? And what's the main themes of the show?
The main protagonists are the three whips of the Whip's office of the leading party. It's a few days before Christmas and they've got a pivotal vote, but they've only got majority of 3. So there's only 320 MPs, which I know because I'm making the piece of scenery that shows all 328 MPs, and it's taking a while to make. And the players around, obviously, as any party in power, you want bills, legislation to go through if you want it to go through, but that does not always go in your favour, because while MPs try and toe the party line, they also are individuals with their own aspirations. So we have Graham White, who's playing Guy, who's one of the party MPs. This is his second time at PTC. He was in The Duchess of Malfi, which we put on a little while ago.
A fair few years ago.
Yes.
Yes, I remember it well.
Very strangely, I know Graham from university. We crossed paths very briefly at uni.
Amazing.
Yes, and then we've got Saffron Miller, who is playing Delia, who is Alistair's counterpart, and Alistair is being played by Jim Dixon.
Everyone knows who Jim Dixon is.
Yes.
Excellent.
And then we have Charlotte McCormack, who is playing Maggie.
And who's she?
Ah, well, I'll tell you who we think she is.
Oh, even better. Intrigue, excellent.
So she is a researcher for one of the MPs. And that's as much as I'm saying.
Oh.
And then I think the only person I've missed out is the lovely William Turner, who is playing the most junior whip,
Right.
Tim.
So we've got the vague synopsis of the plot without giving too much away. We've got the main protagonists, but what are the main themes, Ian?
So, I think there's 3 themes for me. The first one, and apologies, I am going to mildly swear, is bastardry. Every single character in this play is trying to manipulate every other character at every time they're on stage.
Is Jim channeling his, Alan Bastard?
Exactly.
Oh,
everyone has alternative schemes. Everyone's trying to get a leg up on anyone else and sort of entirely out for themselves. And it's just this like wonderfully. It sort of builds and builds and builds, and the schemes go on top of each other and on top of each other, on top of each other, and eventually, almost all the characters leave the stage feeling like they've achieved something to immediately have it underdone. So that's the first one. Manipulation, let's go with that.
Yep.
Second one is about loyalty. There's a bit of sort of an induction so Tim is basically being inducted into the whip's office. And
that's
kind of
Will's character.
That's Will's
and he's
character.
the youngest.
Yeah.
He's the youngest whip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's kind
Is
of
there
like...
a sort of sense of naivety about him?
Yeah, well, there's a sort of an arrogant naivety.
Oh, even better.
Which is a swaggery naivety, and sort of how he sort of starts building, as I said, that loyalty and that sort of... And I think that's one of the really key things of the play is like how you actually build something a bit bigger than yourself, and kind of that's the whole point of the whip's office, is to make sure that everyone kind of votes in one direction. And then the third theme, and it's quite an interesting theme, is about like backsliding. So what happens when you have a very progressive government leave and then the old guard come back in? And there's a whole element of like how that I think's really interesting with like the rise of the manosphere, etc. nowadays, like, and how you actually have backlash against progressivism when the old guard gets back in and like the pull back against. And I find that really, really interesting. Delia, one of the most interesting characters is the deputy Labour chief whip. She brought in a lot of reforms, so like both how the whip's office ran and also was part of a reforming government beforehand. And then there's a series of speeches she gives towards the end of the play, which is really interesting about like how actually the old guard are back in and reinstating that sort of horrible boys' club, as it were. And then the play itself is kind of slightly taking that down and slightly sort of saying why that happened.
Now,
Really
we must
interesting.
stress, dear listener, it is a comedy.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
You know, despite Ian's encyclopedic knowledge of our political system, I would just stress it is very, very funny.
Perry swears, which is a beautiful thing.
Marvellous.
So
I hope it's proper Anglo-Saxon swearing, otherwise I'm not coming.
Yes, words I didn't know. Actually, didn't know anybody else knew them either. So,
Rehearsals, have they all been fun? Fun and games, Perry?
oh well. No, of course. No, they've been great.
You have to
They've
be kind about Ian because he's here.
We've had a lot of laughs. Really.
Have you?
No, it's been great. Yes.
And
yes.
I hope and the new actors, I'm
Oh,
very much forward to
they're
seeing them.
absolutely delightful, wonderful. Yes. So it's all been good, all been great.
And you're
Yes.
painting the set. I can see from the paint spatters on your knees. That's a vision, dear reader. That's a vision, dear listener. Even
Yes.
is it almost finished?
Yes, set is almost finished. Yes.
Is it an authentic Chief Whip's office? But we know instantly that we're in the House of Parliament.
Yes.
Yes.
Graham,
Attention to
yes,
detail,
yes,
people.
yes.
Come on.
Yeah, Graham found a photo earlier on Twitter or X or whatever it's now called of the Chief's Whip's office when it had a dog in it. So the only thing we don't have is the dog. But it did look very similar to our set.
probably no dog.
Probably
we may
no
have
dog.
one. You never
We've
know.
got a dog outfit. You could put one on, actually, Alexa.
I don't like the way you're looking at me, Perry.
I'm thinking that's a no.
I feel like this
Yeah.
is
A woof
Push.
too far.
not move too far, but push back to the fact that I've put all the men in suits in the middle of August with the costumes.
I want to
Yeah.
know immediately. Why is Perry dressed as Santa?
Because Christopher Biggins didn't turn up.
Yeah.
Seriously, is that the
No,
Lights
seriously,
Up
that
line?
is what
Oh my
comes
God,
up.
That is just joyful. But yes, so you're dressed as Santa?
Yes. Well, they were looking for a fat, conservative, old person who could be Santa and hand out. So I was an obvious fit. I mean, no, the chief whip was an obvious fit. That's.
My worry here is, Perry, that I think you've morphed.
I'm morphing into.
You've gone full method on me. So you're dressed as Santa. Is that the opening scene?
Yes.
Yeah?
I don't spend the whole play dressed as Santa.
I mean, that can be arranged, surely. Yeah. What else can you tell me?
The thing I love about it is it's sort of set within a sort of farcical knockabout sort of situation at the same time. Fast, witty, really sort of dialogue that crackles off the page.
So I understand that Steve Thompson, the writer of this play, wrote it when he was the writer in residence at the Bush Theatre, correct?
Yes.
But he also wrote, to those who know, some episodes of Sherlock with Mark Gatiss and also Doctor Who, covering the whole spectrum of fans, I'm thinking.
Yes.
So he's not averse to the witty one-liner and in-depth funny plots, correct? What more could you possibly want? Political farce full of funny one-liners that crackle along, perfect for an August.
And it's quite short.
And I shall leave it there, my friend. I shall leave it there. Well, guys, thank you very, very much. We look forward to seeing you again. It's from the 18th to the 22nd of August, plus the matinee on the Saturday. We'll see you there, my friend. Tickets, www.putneyartstheatre.org.uk. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. This is a real Putney Theatre Company production. Do share the podcast with your friends and take a look at our website, searching online for the Putney Theatre Company. So that's it for now. See you next time.